Three-time gold medalist Janet Evans proves you are never too old to follow your dreams. This 40-year-old mother of two is coming out of retirement and diving back into the game later this month at the U.S. Olympic team trials for swimming in Omaha, Nebraska. And Janet Evans joins us on New Mexico Style this morning. Good morning, Janet. What a pleasure to be talking to you today.
Good morning, Nikki. Thanks for having me.
Well, I want to mention to our viewers that you've been retired for 15 years. So what compelled you to return to the Olympic Games?
Well, you know, I retired after the 96 games in Atlanta. I was 24. I'd, done everything I thought I wanted to do in the sport, and I wanted to stop swimming, see the world. I got married. I started a family, and a few years ago, I realized that going back to swimming was something I'd always wanted to do, but I'd put on the back burner for other priorities. So I jumped back in the pool, wanted to see how I felt in the water, and felt pretty good, actually, and qualified for the Olympic trials coming up here in a couple of weeks in Omaha.
It's fantastic. I mean, you really do prove that a woman can do it all, and you've been recognized as the best female distance swimmer in U.S. history. You became a three-time world record holder in the 400 meter, the 800 meter, 1500 meter freestyle, and now you've qualified in the 400 and 800 meter in Omaha. So this is such an amazing list of credentials for you. What is your training and nutrition routine like now?
Well, training for swimming is the same as it was when I was, my teens and 20s. It's just hard work. 10 miles a day in the pool, 4 hours a day in the water, and then about an hour a day of dry land. One thing that has changed, though, is thinking about my health. As a 20-year-old, you might not think as much about it. As a 40-year-old, you really do. And as a woman, there are, things that I work on, things that I am concerned about regarding my health. For me personally, I have a history of heart disease in my family, so I'm proud to partner with Metamucil to encourage American women to get more fiber in their diet. Metamucil helps lower your cholesterol, and 8 million women in this country have heart disease. So, lowering our cholesterol and taking care of our hearts is very healthy. So, one thing swimming again has helped me realize is that I need to take care of my body, because my body is very good to me and getting me through these long workouts and getting me to the Olympic trials. And it's something I've stopped taking for granted and realized I actually need to eat better and supplement my diet and take care of myself.
And to hear it from someone like you, who is really always working out and doing so much, it really is something that we should all listen to, whether we're Olympic trainers or not. No matter what, we should take care of our bodies.
Yeah, we don't have to swim 10 miles a day.
Exactly. But I want to ask you this, because I love watching the Olympics and I'm so impressed by swimmers, and I always wanted to ask, what goes through your mind as soon as you hit that water? What is the process like for you mentally?
Well, we're so well trained. We're so, it's like game on, right? And so you're completely focused on yourself, on your stroke, on what you need to do to get through that water faster, on how you feel in the water. So it's literally like, you almost have blinders on. You're a little bit immune to it, and you just get in and do what you've practiced doing. And I think that's one thing that kind of separates the great champions from other athletes, is that we can all train hard, we can all swim well in practice, but to stand up on the starting blocks at a major competition and put everything out of your mind and just focus on what you're doing is one of the most important things.
Oh, I bet. And when you think of somebody with your record and what you've achieved, I guess a lot of people have to think about the competition, but really you're kind of competing against yourself. I'm sure for your own mental thought process, you're probably thinking, that you're somebody that you're competing against, your own records. Is that true?
Well, yeah, but I tend not to think of those other days when I was swimming. I set my world records when I was 16 and 17 years old, and I swam till I was 24. So for 6 or 7 years in my swimming career, I never did a best time, which as an athlete is a little bit frustrating. As a swimmer, we always want to swim faster than we did at the last swim meet. One thing that's been great about this comeback for me has been, every time I jump in the water, I tend to get a little bit better. And I'm not quite close to those times I did when I was 20, but I am improving. It's fun to see improvement. It's fun to realize that you are making progress, and that's been very encouraging to me. And I hope it encourages others that you need to set a goal and work towards that goal, and you can take small steps along the way, and you can eventually get to where you want to be.
That's such great advice. And let me ask you for a little more advice, because I know there are a lot of young swimmers out there that are just starting to compete. What would you tell them?
Well, I would say to have fun. You know,
Okay.
I think in the sport of swimming especially, it's a very disciplined sport. It's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of early mornings and cold swimming pools. So I think first and foremost, you have to love it. You have to want to do it in your soul. And I think along the way, you have to have a really good time. You have to enjoy it. You have to enjoy going to practices and have fun. Because at the end of the day, it's just a sport, and we do it for recreation because that's what it is. And I think I encourage every kid to participate in sports and to really get the most they can out of it.
Great lesson to learn. And Janet Evans is definitely the woman to watch. We thank you so much for joining us and wish you tons of luck. Thank you so much, Janet.
Thank you, Nikki.
And we'll be right
Thanks.
back.